Welcome to Are You Ready? The first step in the home buying process from DePaco. At DePaco, we strive to provide our members with financial education to help them make better financial decisions. We do this in person at any of our branches or through online resources like this webcast that allows us to reach members no matter where they live. The goal of this webinar is to help you assess your readiness for home ownership. Are you 6 months away or 2 years away from buying a home? It's also to help you prepare financially for home ownership and provide you the guidelines to secure the best financing for home ownership. The webinar will provide a big picture look at the key areas of assessing where you are in the home buying process, the benefits and responsibilities in home ownership, your buying power, and taking a look at your budget and credit score. When asking yourself whether you should buy or rent, the answer depends on what makes sense for you. There are both advantages and disadvantages to buying a home or renting. With buying a home, you'll build equity, but you also have more cost in maintaining a home. With renting, you have less costs overall, but you don't build any equity with the money that you pay in rent. You really should understand the pros and cons to both and ask yourself if homeownership is right for you at this time. First, you need to determine your buying power, which is how much can you afford. This is based on not only your savings and spending plan, but on your comfort level with managing the expense and debt of home ownership. This should include not only the mortgage each month, but taxes, insurance, maintenance, and savings for potential emergency home repairs. Pre-qualifying for a loan lets you know how much you can borrow based on your income and existing debt. Pre-qualification also gives you a price range you can afford before you start looking at houses. Most lenders use a set of guidelines to validate what you can afford for a mortgage payment. You also want to take a look at what your savings looks like and do you have any money available for a down payment. The net worth statement you're currently viewing right now, which can be found on DePaco.com, I will show you where to find that at the end of the webinar. Filling out this type of worksheet will help you have a clear understanding of where you stand. Your debt-to-income ratio plays a part in determination of getting a home loan. The costs of buying a house include much more than the monthly mortgage payment. But when you look at a monthly mortgage payment, it's made up of 4 components. The principal is the part of the payment that reduces the balance of your mortgage, the interest, which is the fee charged for borrowing money, and then you have taxes and insurance. But there are a lot of upfront costs as well. Some of the major ones here, and these are not included in your mortgage payment, are the down payment, closing costs, mover fees, and utility hookups. When you're considering buying a home, the amount of your down payment plays an important role. A down payment is a percentage of your home's purchase price that you pay up front when you close your home loan. Lenders often look at this down payment amount as your investment in the home. Not only will it affect how much you need to borrow, it can also influence whether your lender will require you to pay for private mortgage insurance, often referred to as PMI, which is an additional cost each month. And it also helps determine what type of loan is best suited to you, such as a fixed rate or adjustable rate, and it may also affect your interest. So taking a step back, and let's look at the big picture. The costs of owning a home include more than just that monthly mortgage payment, and it can put a strain on finances. So you want to make sure you create a budget and spending plan so you completely understand how much money you have coming in and what your total expenses are and where your money is going. Tracking your spending this way helps you identify if there are any spending leaks that you can, avoid in the future to help save more money toward owning a home. Credit's another important part when you're looking at home ownership. So your credit report is a history of how you've managed your finances and paid your debt. The lender will pull your credit and use your credit score to determine mortgage approval. So before you start the home buying process, review and clean up your credit record if necessary, because the difference between a poor credit record and a good one could result in a difference of tens of thousands of dollars in interest charges over the life of a loan. So make sure you review your credit report and also make sure there are no errors, and if there are some, move to get those corrected. Understand your score and if needed, develop a plan for building a good score. DePaco does work with members every day providing credit history lessons to provide a better understanding and if needed, help determine the steps to improve the credit rating. It's important to know the factors that affect your credit score and take steps to improve it if necessary. Remember that having no credit history at all could be just as detrimental to your score as having a poor credit history. So make sure you establish credit in your name and then pay your bills on time. You want a healthy mix of credit. Here you see a breakdown of the percentage breakdown of a credit score. The higher the credit score, the better. Why should you care about yours? Because consumers with lower scores often pay higher interest rates on mortgages and credit cards because they're considered higher risk. FICO scores range from 300 to about 850. The average FICO score per Experian is somewhere around 693. So we recommend you meet with a Dupaco representative to review your credit history to understand where you are credit-wise. However, if you don't feel ready to do this yet, we highly recommend you at least request a copy of your credit report yourself. You can receive one free report annually from places like annualcreditreport.com. There are many credit reporting agencies, but most are affiliated with the big three. These are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The agencies on this slide also sell credit reports and credit scores on their sites, so please be sure you're requesting the free credit report if that's what you want. So let's say you do know how much you can afford and your finances and credit are in good shape, so you feel ready to start looking for a home. The first step is to get pre-approved for a loan. This is really the best way to start for a variety of reasons. It provides you a price range so you know what you can afford. It lets sellers know you're a serious buyer. And you can also feel comfortable making an offer knowing you won't have to rush to secure financing. As you can see from the slide here, there's a lot of steps from getting pre-approved to closing on a loan. And through this process, you're going to work with a lot of different people. Some of those will be your financial institution, your realtor, an appraiser, and a home inspector, just to name some few. If you feel you're in a good position in the areas we covered, then the next step is to get pre-approved for a loan. If you aren't yet at this stage, make sure you review your credit report and understand how it looks. Then put a plan in place to either reduce your debt or increase your savings so you can get to the point where you do feel comfortable in assuming the expense and responsibilities of buying and owning a home. If you are interested in meeting with a Dupaco employee to review your credit or a money makeover, please just call or stop in at your preferred branch for an appointment. If you feel you're ready for home ownership now and want to get pre-approved, please just call the real estate department to set an appointment. If you'd like to access any of the documents you saw on the webinar, you can go to the dupaco.com website. In the search field, just type in Home Sweet Home, and the first listing that pops up will take you to a page that'll have those worksheets for you under printable resources. Thank you very much.